Oh, there we go. We'll see what happens. So Anna is here briefly. Normally she's here for the whole session, but she's very kindly come along despite having another engagement today. But she will, if anyone has any problems getting in or out or hearing anything, just send her a message and she will manage spotlighting me for stitches and things. So you might hear me talking to Anna.
Yeah, I'm going to be leaving at 11:30. So any things after that, then Sam is your lady.
Just message me. Yeah. So as usual, we'll put everybody on mute. And as I always say at the beginning of these sessions, that is just because of background noise. It's not because we don't want you to speak. So we've just found, because it's a large group, we've got, how many have we got? We're 25 at the moment. And probably have a few more popping in and out as time goes on. A few people have said they'll be a bit late today. So what happens is if we don't mute you all, we get lots of background. You can probably hear my daughter's just dropped a cup. I've got background noise, but do please unmute yourself if you want to say anything. Any contribution is gratefully accepted, whether it's a question about a stitch or feedback about a great TV show you're watching at the moment, anything at all. It's a very laid back morning. So anything you'd like to say, please do. If you're nervous about chatting in front of everyone, you can put a comment in the chat at the bottom of your screen. I know you're all on different screens, so it'll be a slightly different place, but you'll see a little speech bubble. If you write something in there, you can either send it directly to me or Anna or to the whole group. So then I will be able to look at that as we go along. And if you're trying to get my attention and I'm not noticing you, you can either wave, chat in there, or you can, on your reactions, you can put your hand up. So there's a little smiley face that says reactions. If you click on that, there's a raise hand option. So you can do that. And if I don't notice you in the first half hour while Anna's here, she'll point it out to me. Hi, Anne, welcome. Lovely to have you with us as well. Another person who's first time with the class. I say class, club is a much better description. As I say, it's a very laid back morning. I'll demonstrate stitches, but we'll chat about all sorts as we go along. So I've sent you a kit to make some speckled hen mitts. So I was thinking it actually quite well timed. The weather has really changed this last week or so. So really nice to have the opportunity to have something warm to wear. I've made them come just up to my fingers, but you can make yours longer if you like. So you've got everything in the kit to make them really tall, is what I wanted to say. I got distracted by the fact that Anna spotlighted me and now all I can see is my big head. So, but thank you, Anna. So here they are on. You can see I haven't weaved all my ends in yet. You can see how tall they reach on me, but it's a repeat. So you can take them up higher if you would like to. So we'll talk about that as we go along. And I've got little thumb holes there. I called them speckled hen mitts because as I was making them, these little markings here reminded me of my hen, who's a speckledy hen. She's called Dolly. I'll put a photo on later to show you what I mean. That these little markings here, I just thought it was just like her markings.
Yeah. You should have called them Dolly Mitts.
Dolly Mitts, that's better, Helen. I will rename them when I put the pattern on the website.
No, you don't need to. No, speckled hen's fine.
Like Dolly mixture, Dolly Mitts. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so these use a new stitch and it's a waistcoat stitch. I say new stitch because it's a stitch I've not used in a pattern before, so new to me. Might not be new to you, you might have used it before. So what I'm going to do is I'll get you started on them and there's a repeat in there. I'll go through all the steps as usual, and we can talk about different parts of the glove as we go along. So you start with this part here. So you add the cuff afterwards. So you're starting with this round here. And so for me, it's in brown. Well, you've got two balls of one colour and then you've got your secondary colour. So you're going to start in the one you've got two balls of. And I've put sizes in the pattern. So I've given you an idea of how many chains to do for different hand sizes. So if you go by what size glove you normally wear, so I'm a large, so I did 28 chains. So I'm just going to switch my camera so I can show you on my pattern where I'm looking. Can you see that okay? Right, so in this section here, so you've got the description of the stitches, and then you've got the sizes here. So you've got the chains, so 24 chains for a small, 26 for a medium, 28 for a large, and 30 for an extra large. However, you can also check the fit of that around your hand, which I will show you. So because your tension will affect how long your chain is and how well it fits. Another tip before you get started is this is a tight stitch, and if you have tight tension, it can be, I mean, I have kind of averagey tension, I think, but I found it quite hard to work. So you might find it's worth going up a hook size if you normally have tight tension. I say might, I would recommend going up a hook size. And either way, we're going to make an effort to keep it a bit looser because you'll see as we go along, it's quite a tight stitch. So I'm going to start by chaining 28. Shout if you need any help. So do your chain. So if you refer to the sizes, let's go quiet. I might actually count 13, 14. Okay, I obviously did that very quick because I know some of you were doing it while I was speaking, but take your time if you're still doing your chain. So I've done a chain of 28. It needs to be an even chain. So if you end up adjusting it, let's just see if I can just adjust my, then make sure it's an even number. So for the pattern to work out, it will need to be an even number. And when you've done your chain, I'm going to pause, so don't worry if you're still doing your chain. You're going to slip stitch in this first chain that you made. So all the way back near the knot that you made, your slip knot. So make sure it's not twisted. So it is really useful to lay it out flat. If you're working on your lap, I tend to put my finger and thumb, my thumb on the front of it where you can see the V's, finger on the back, and just run it down, keeping it all straight. So you can see the V's, and then I'm holding on to that first loop and just put your hook underneath that loop. You're going to make a slip stitch. And that means by doing that, you've made a big loop. Now at this point, you can check the fit. So I'm going to pause, so don't worry if you're still doing it, but just to show you on me, you then check the fit. Let's pull that loop out a bit more around the palm of your hand, not including your thumb. And that is going to be, it's going to get a little bit tighter because when we put our double crochets in, it will tighten it up. So think to yourself, will that be comfortable when it's a bit tighter? So that was 28 chain for me, and I would buy a size large if I was buying a glove in a size. I'm going to pause now and just come back to gallery view so I can check how everyone's looking. See if anyone has any questions. Please do shout if you have any questions. Everyone's trying them on. I'm just going to have a look at chat. So, oh, Anne got a subscription for her birthday. What a lovely idea, Anne. That's so nice of your daughters.
Val, I love how your cat is getting involved as well. My cat was doing that earlier.
Where is that? Who's Val's cat, is it?
Yeah, she looked really like she was looking in at the screen. It was so sweet. I'm assuming it's a girl cat, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Really sweet.
Any questions about the fit? How's everyone getting on with that? Everyone feel okay? Oh, that's good, Julie. Looking good. Oh yeah, Val, that looks good. If you're happy with that and you've put it around your hand, if it's I'm presuming it's for yourself. If it's for someone else, then obviously we're going to have to go by the sizing. I'd probably make, I don't know, would I make the medium or the large? It's hard to know because I've got such large hands. Obviously it's going to depend on your tension as well. So once you've made that, I'm going to move on now. The first round is really simple because it's just double crochets. So you're going to, so point that you're at where you've slip stitched. So if I just pull it, because we're going to work into where that slip stitch is. So can you see my yarn coming out of it? That's where I need to work into. So chain one first, and then one double crochet where the slip stitch is. So you just put your hook straight through, pull the yarn back through, gives you two loops on your hook, and yarn over through the two. And you're then going to work into every stitch around. And what I've written, I hope I've written this, I wanted to, yes, I would suggest just make your double crochets under one loop. because I found sometimes I'll go under 2 loops to make it tighter, but I then found the next round where I introduced the waistcoat stitch was much harder to work out where to go. So I would suggest for this pattern, just make your double crochets under 1 loop of the chain, so just under that top loop there. So it's 1 into every one around, which will leave you with exactly the same number as the number of chains you did, so 28. So do have a quick count when you get to the end. Do shout if you have any questions, or put your hand up if you don't want to call out. So don't worry about this loop that comes underneath it, because we're going to, when we do our cuff, we'll work into that. Has anyone used waistcoat stitch before? Let me just come back to gallery so I can see a few of you there. Don't know if that, does that take me off of highlight, or can you still, everyone else still see me on highlight when I do that? Anyone use waistcoat stitch before?
Everyone can still see you on Spotlight.
Okay, brilliant. No one, no. Yeah, I mean, I must say I've seen it used, and I've used it for a couple of things in patterns, but I've not designed anything with it. So I was quite keen to. It's basically, it kind of makes something that looks a bit like knitting. It's quite a nice tight stitch. So if your tension's normally tight, make a little bit of an effort here to make it a bit looser. So just pull that loop up when you've got your 2 loops on your hook and come through. I did find even myself, I had to make it a bit looser. You'll see what I mean when we start the next round. It's probably the tightest, the most kind of compact stitch I found. So going all the way around. Everyone okay? Obviously, make a mental note as to how many chains you've done, because your second glove will need to be the same. So you might want to, if you're like me and your mind goes blank, you might want to jot it down. Hello, Julie Ward. Missed you at Friday Club yesterday. She's waving. How was the wedding?
It was good, thank you. Sorry I missed it. And
oh, good. No problem. Sorry, I sent her a message. It's so unheard of for Julie not to be there. I was like, oh, are you not coming today? You are allowed to go to other events on Friday. Was it a nice day?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thank you. I can tell you all at a Friday Club.
Yes, look forward to hearing about it. Well, this is the Friday Club we have at Ivinghoe, if anyone else is local and fancies coming along. Every Friday 10 to 12. Lots of chat goes on there, as well as crochet and cake eating, of course. Right, so when you've got to the end, just have a little count round, check you've still got your 28 or however many you started with. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what you need to just bear in mind is that this, as you come around, because you've already worked in the same place as a slip stitch, it sort of looks like you have one left to work, but that's the same place that the slip stitch is, if you see what I mean. So just be careful to make sure you've got the same number of stitches as the number of chains you started with. And then you're going to slip stitch in the first double crochet. So this is my chain 1, so not in that bit, underneath this V here. So you put your hook underneath the V, and because it's a slip stitch, you come straight through the V and straight through the loop on your hook. And it might be worth trying it on again at this point, making sure you're happy with the fit around your hand.
Sam, I've got it's not meant to be like a twist in it, is there?
No, let's have a look. I'm gonna,
so like it looks like if I count the stitches around the outside, it suddenly becomes the inside. I think I'll have to, shall I just twist it? I'll just twist
if you do that and then just, yeah, it does sort of want to twist, but as long as all your V's are on, when you've done that and sort of twisted it back, and make sure all your V's
I'll just
are facing upright. So yeah, do the slip stitch and then check, because I found that myself sometimes. I thought, oh no, I've twisted it, but actually when the slip stitch is in place,
yeah.
all the V's are on the top. Good. It does
Sorry.
do that a bit. Everyone okay? I'm pausing because the next thing to show you is the waistcoat stitch. So just want to check everyone's all right at this stage. Oh, Jenny Freeborn, did you get your audio working? Good. Okay, so moving forward, round 2, we now start the waistcoat stitch. So again, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to work into the same stitch that we've just worked in. The thing with the waistcoat stitch is you're making double crochets, but you're making them in a different place to where you normally work. So you would normally work under this V here, so underneath the 2 strands at the top. But with the waistcoat stitch, you're going to work into the post between this strand and this strand. So you can see, actually, this is a tight one. I'm probably going to find this a bit hard. So I'm going to pull it up like that. And then I want to get between this post here and this bit here. So if you look at your stitch, this is a really good opportunity to look carefully at your stitches. Let me just trying to make sure the light's good for you. You've got a strand there. So where you're right-handed, your V sits to the right of your post. You've got a strand here and a strand here. So it still looks like a V, but an upright V, a vertical V, rather than one laying flat. And you want to get your hook through the center of that post, aiming between those 2 strands that are standing upright. So the nice thing about this is when you've done it, I'm going to make mine a bit bigger here. As you get going, you see what it should look like and it's much easier, but for the first couple, it's a bit harder. So I've got these zing hooks, and actually I've got quite a rounded tip to them. So I was thinking as I was doing it, you might want to use a different hook. And then you pull the yarn back through just like you normally do for a double. And then this is what, whoopsie, you want it to be a bit looser than normal. So pull your 2 loops on your hook up and then yarn over and through the 2. And can you see that's kind of broken the, made a space between the 2 vertical posts there. I'm just going to put myself onto speaker view just to check I can see what you're seeing. Yeah, so if I lay it down. So it's gone between the 2 posts, the 2 strands there of the post, and it's like sitting a V in a V. So it might be better if I show you actually on my glove. So you get the V sits then, the post of the stitch, which looks like a V shape, in the middle of the post of the stitch below. Actually, the photograph I've shown you in the, which I borrowed from Crafternoon Treats, I put image courtesy of Crafternoon Treats. It's actually a really good photograph. They're all in different colours, so it shows you where it should be. And then once you get going and you're working consecutive stitches like that, you really get the feel for the pattern. So if you're finding this first round a bit trickier, don't panic, because once you set it up, it gets easier. And if you are finding it tricky to get in between those strands, do make an effort to make your stitches looser. And I found if you're really aiming to get, if you're right-handed, underneath, in between the 2 posts, but underneath that left one. So I found putting mine through at a slight angle, slanting to the left, really helped. So if you're left-handed, the opposite, slant to the right. How's everyone getting on? Do you feel like you're going in the right place? Any concerns? Finding it too hard?
There are lots of very concentrated faces.
Yeah.
Today, Sam.
Yes.
Can you just show me where you come out on the back?
Yes.
I seem to sort of have a job sometimes knowing where it comes out at the back.
So it's basically, if you think as you go cut between them.
Yes.
It's basically going on the left. You're right-handed, aren't you, Ruth?
Yes.
On the left-hand side, you've got just one strand. On the right-hand side, you've got the bulk of it.
Yes.
So that's my other side.
Right.
And I'll tell you what I'll do. what I found really helpful was, as I made the stitch, taking a moment to look at the construction of the stitch I was making. So here's my 2 strands on my hook, and I'm going to go yarn over. So if you look behind now, you've got these 2 loops here. As I go yarn over and pull through and make the post, so the post is down here, this is the bit I want to go between. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
As you make a double crochet, look at the construction of it. I made that one much taller. And these are the 2 vertical posts. It's there that you're aiming to get through.
Right.
So normally you would go in there. See where the yarn's coming out of?
Yes.
That's the bit you're aiming for when you go back in.
Sam, when you finish, does it look a bit more sort of not like crochet stitches neat, a bit more marley sort of?
Let's have a look, Rosa.
Let me turn my camera. Let me.
I think, to be honest, where are you? The first round is a bit less neat, maybe.
Oh, I can't see where am I going?
Oh, no, that's perfect. Very good. Yeah,
Super.
lovely. Ruth, how are you getting on? Oh, there's Terry Ann coming in.
And I think Deborah's got her hand up.
Where are we? Oh, Debbie, hello. You're muted, Debbie, sorry.
Hi, Sam.
Hiya.
Does it go like underneath? Hang on, I'm trying to show you in this light. Does that look right?
Hold it up a little bit more. I think you're going a little bit too far down. So you're
That's what I was. To me, I'm going under the stitch.
Yeah. So if you look at your stitch, I'm just trying to see if that. Yeah. If I hold it like that, I think. So here's my stitches. I'm going to get my other little needle out. Okay. So this is my next stitch along. So you've got the V on the top that you'd normally go under. Yeah. Whoops. I'll use the other end of it. Then right, so you've got the V on the top that you normally go under.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it clear to you. And then you've got under the stitch, which I think is where you're going. Hang on, I'm sorry. Give me a sec to fiddle with the clarity. So V, you've got where it's sitting, which I think is what you're heading for. And then here, you've got your 2 strands, which are the post of the stitch.
To me, that looks like you're going under the stitch.
Yeah, so you've got, that is where you're aiming for. So it's not quite under it. So let me just put my hook through where you're aiming for. And then if I get another hook, might make it clearer, might. That is under my stitch. That's under my next stitch, actually. So that's where I'm aiming for. And that would be under it. So it's the...
So it's a bit above where I was going.
Yeah, exactly. It is really. It's the hole above where you were going.
See, where I was going, that hole was quite easy.
I know. You can go there. Be interested to see how it looks. It'll look even tighter, I should think. So if I put so I kind of got my hook underneath that strand there. That's where you're headed for. So this is where, can you see that bit there? That's where I'd normally go.
Yeah.
Let's turn it over. So I'd normally go in there. So it's slightly to the left of it, it's left and down, but not as far down as you were looking. It's going to be clearer the more of them you make.
Okay, thank you.
So don't worry too much about this round, because it is definitely harder on the first round of doing them. And then also, as I say, make an effort to make them a little bit looser than they normally would be. And then you'll find it easier for the next round. So you're pushing, if you're right-handed, you're pushing slightly to the left as you come through. So you're heading for the gap between the two strands and slightly to the left. Anyone else? I did anticipate, so don't worry if I find it tricky, because I did anticipate it being tricky.
Sam,
don't be afraid to ask. Yeah.
Sorry, I've only just joined. I couldn't do it. I tried to do it last night to try and get myself a start.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was going to be at football this morning, and I threw it across the room and gave up.
Right, go up a hook size, Terry Ann.
Yeah?
Yeah, it needs to be much looser than you're making it, probably.
Okay. I just couldn't figure out where I needed to put it.
Yeah, okay. So as you make your stitch, so that, I mean, it's easier really in the ones I've just made, because I've built it up a bit. As you make your stitch, you've got the V you normally go under, which is here.
Yeah.
And so it's this bit, the yarn, because I've just made it, the yarn's coming out of it, but that's where you want to head. You want to put your hook just a little bit further below the V and slightly to the left. So you're splitting, you're going between the two vertical strands of the post, like that. So if you look at it as you make, you definitely need to go up a hook size. If it's really hard to see, it's because your crochet is really too tight, or not too tight, but you know, being tight with crochet is normally good, but with this,
it wasn't hard to see. I just didn't know,
work out which bit.
In so many different places that
yeah,
I just got cross with it in the end. And
if all else fails, just do double crochets. You'll still have a lovely pair of gloves. However, it's nice. It's a nice technique once you get the hang of it. But the first round is really tricky.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think maybe because it tends to be a bit tighter when you work the first round.
Right.
How's everyone else getting on? I'm going to lift that up a bit now.
Please go out.
I'm going to slope off now, Sam.
Okay, thanks so much for helping out.
No problem. Good luck, ladies. See you next time.
See you next time. Hope your meeting goes well.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Any other questions? I'm looking, don't see any hands up. Can I presume you're getting on all right? Or is everyone still on their first stitch? Helen at Peebles is shaking her head. Helen, go up another hook size. She's laughing because we always have this conversation about going up hook sizes. Oh, you're sorry, you're on mute. That's me, and I'm talking and you're. So Anne's gone up a hook size and found it easier. Yeah, it's definitely, if you're finding it hard, go up a hook size.
I still just don't know where to put my hook.
Okay, I'll show you, don't worry.
It's being really thick.
Sam, I've gone up one, but I'm still not sure it's right.
Do you want to show me, or I can spotlight you? Hang on.
Yeah.
Right, and then if you hold it close to the camera and up a bit. Yes, that's right.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. Well done.
Okay.
Very good.
Amazed. Thank you.
Okay. Right, Terry Ann.
Yes.
I wish I hadn't started this in white now. I'm feeling like, oh, is that me? No, it's someone else.
Me.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. No, it's fine. It's just my phone rings on my computer, so
Yeah, mine did as well.
if I show you in the white, to get hold of you.
Just ignoring it. Hold on. Sorry, Sam.
That's okay. I'm trying to find a way of making it clearer to show you on here. Right. I'm just because I'm looking at myself now. Right.
Okay.
So with a stitch, as you work into your stitches,
yeah,
you've got your V you normally go under, and then you've got your post. And your post is made up of 2 strands. You've got 2 vertical strands that look like a V themselves.
Yeah.
That hold on to the stitch below. So left and right.
Yeah.
So you want to put your hook in between those 2 vertical strands.
Well, is that not?
No, because normally you'd go here.
Yes.
So you want to go slightly to the left and down and go there. So that's where I've gone. Hang on. Whoop. And you've got a strand either side. And that is where I would normally go.
Right. Okay.
So you would normally go in there. You want to go slightly to the left.
In
What
there?
what it does is it lines up all your
Yeah.
stitches literally on top of each other.
Is that it?
Hang on, I'm going to spotlight you. Sorry, give me a sec. I have to find you on my gallery and then spotlight you. Oh, I can see you holding it up. Spotlight. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Once you've got a few stitches in place, you see it and it makes sense, but it's just these.
See that?
It's so much easier on round 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I did it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then I didn't see where I needed to go the next time. I was getting in a bit of a.
Yeah.
Is
Ruth,
that it?
yes.
Is that right?
Yes, Ruth Ford, perfect, perfect.
Yeah, and that's how it looks on the back.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay, I think I've got it then.
And
Thank you,
Valerie, I'm
Sam.
just adding you. I'm just looking at yours, Valerie. Sorry, not Val. Hang on, I just need to. Oh, I'm missing Anna today. Here we go. Yes, perfect, Valerie. That is it.
I think I was, like going round the post rather than pulling the yarn through the middle.
It's fiddly, and then when you get it, it's like bingo. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go again now.
Pardon, Terry Ann?
I still don't know where to go.
Oh.
I think that was just fluke that I did that one.
Well, are you on the first round?
Yes.
It is much harder on the first round because the actual post of the stitch is so tight where you've worked into the foundation chain. So you've got V here, and then you might, I expect, because your stitches, because it's the first round, are smaller.
Yeah.
It's here. So for me, they're tiny, my 2 little posts.
Yeah. I think
and you want to go.
I know where I've got to go. It's just.
Okay, so here's the trick which I found helpful. Push your hook slightly to the left. You're basically aiming to get it underneath the left strand. So
Right.
instead of going straight in, push it at an angle to the left.
Okay.
Because it's the left strand, you're going between the right and the left strand, but if you're right-handed, at an angle underneath that left strand seems to get it to go through where you want it to go.
Okay.
And then if you are finding it tricky, make sure as you make your next round of double crochets, you make them looser than you normally would.
Okay.
And then at the end of the round, we've got one more to go. That was really tight. Oh, that's it. So, sorry. At the end of the round, you then make a slip stitch. I've got a really tight one here, so I'm just going to use a smaller hook to make a gap. So at the end of the round, you slip stitch in the first, and may as well have a little double check that you've got the right number of stitches. So when it comes to slip stitching in the first, you've got your chain 1, which is that tiny bit, and then you've got the first proper stitch after it. So you're skipping over the chain 1 and you're slip stitching in there. And the best thing to do is to just count and make sure you've still got the same number. And then for the third round, you're repeating that. And then when you get, as you get to the end of the final, sorry, the third round into the final stitch, you're changing colour. So I'll get to that, but just hopefully on the third round, you'll find it easier. Chain 1. So what we're aiming for is for the stitch with this stitch compared to a double crochet, the stitches sit right on top of each other and the V's sort of cut down into the V's in the row below. So you get stacked up V's, a bit like a V stitch when you do it with trebles. So it's very much in line. It's normally if you're working around with double crochets, your seam will veer off to the left because your stitches are not in line. So the nice benefit, the benefits of it are it's a tighter stitch and it lines up the stitches because of the place you're working. And actually I was reading about it, and one of the designers' blogs I was reading, she says she prefers it when she's doing tapestry crochet because you don't get that wonkiness that you get with tapestry crochet if you work into the V. I thought that was quite interesting. But my big tip is make it looser. So I don't know if you can see now. Oh, Debbie's coming back in. Yeah, hopefully you can start to see you've got your V's stacked up.
I'm still
Terry Ann's like
this is going to come with me on Friday, Sam, I think.
So I'll show you again because I think as I get more into mine you might be able to see a bit better. So normally I'd go in here, I've got my V here, I want to go underneath that post of it, right, bang, it's through the middle but slant it slightly to the left. Okay. So two vertical strands make an upright V, and I'm going between those two vertical strands. So normally we look for the V on the top, but now we're looking for the V at the front of the work, as we look straight onto the work, the V that's made by the post instead of the top of the stitch.
Yeah, I think I've gone blind.
Show me, you're probably doing it.
I'm not, look, I still just have that. I still just have a ring. Still just have a ring. I don't know where to go.
Okay, so you've done one round, have you?
No, I haven't. No, that is my chain ring.
You've taken it back. You've right. Yeah. Okay. Are you able to hold it to the camera to show me, and then just show me your first? Are you? I wonder if are you looking at it from the front?
I don't know. Am I? Should I be turning it out the other way?
So your tail, if you're looking at it from the front of the work, your tail should be inside it. So so where you joined it at the beginning,
yep,
that should be inside the work.
Yeah, but still on the right.
So it shouldn't be hanging outside it should be inside it, and then you're looking at it from the right side.
Okay.
Was that the way you were looking at it?
Yeah.
Okay. Bother. Thought I might have cracked it there.
Oh, I hate it when I can't do it. It makes
me
so angry.
It's okay. I'm going to find another way of showing you. I'm not going to, you know me, I'm not giving up. Hang on.
You're better than me because I give up. I would have just given up by now.
Right. I'm getting out my pens.
Okay.
Oh.
Terry Ann, it's
I have to
definitely
say, Sam,
easier in the next round. Keep going.
It just makes me angry when I can't do it.
I know, Emmy.
Sam, I've just moved up from a 5.5 to a 6, and going up another half the hook size has made it so much easier.
Has it?
Like, so if anybody, look, I'm not a mega tight crochet, but that whole hook size seems to have made it so much easier.
All the difference. So this is, we're aiming for here. So normally you go there.
Normally I would go there.
This is my diagram of a stitch. It's not very good, but
normally I would go there.
Normally you would go in here. We're aiming for this bit this time. So can you see that in your stitches?
No.
That's the problem, isn't it? Okay. So when you make your stitch, you get your little space under your V there. And then as you make that, you get these posts. So you want to aim for here.
I'm gonna try.
So I think that's it's looking at as you make your stitch. If you look at the structure of it, it's really hard without being sat next to you pointing it out.
Yeah, I think my brain's frozen. I've been stood on the side of a football
Yeah.
pitch past 8.
Try it, go up a hook size, just out of interest.
Is that it?
Okay, bye Val. Val's got to go. Nice to see you. What's she
I think
saying?
I might have got it.
Oh, series 13 of Silent Witness. I've done it all now. I've even caught up.
I shall
You think you've got it?
I think so. I'll go round and then I'll let you have a look.
Excellent. Everyone else, anyone got any tips for Terry Ann? Apart from I'm going up a hook size, a very good one.
Sam, I found looking at the back and checking where it was coming out under that sort of double cross horizontal. I found it easier to see initially at the back that it was coming out right.
Yeah, that's good. So you're going through that space there. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes I poked my hook through from the back to the front just to double check.
That's interesting.
Where I was going.
Yeah.
Sam, how many sort of strands should we be going under? How many strands have you got on the top of your hook when you?
It's about
poked it through like that.
Yeah. So you've
3.
got and then just 1 on the left. In actual fact.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So you're going under the V. You're basically going underneath this V and this right hand strand. As you twist it and look at it, and let me just show. Oh heck, let me just show you. So as I look at it from the back, as Ruth was saying, this is the V. I've gone right under that, and I've gone under this right strand of it here, which just leaves the left strand. And then
Sam, can you check mine for me?
Of course I can.
I think it's right.
Oh, Helen, here on the screen. I'll just spotlight you. Yes, that is it.
It does look like a knit stitch.
Yeah, it does look like a knitted stitch. Yeah, that is exactly it. Well done.
But it does get easier as the rows go on because you just know instinctively where your hook goes.
As with normal double crochet, it just kind of happens instinctively, doesn't it? But so for row 4, if you want to, we do the color change. So I'm just go, and if you've gone further than that, that's absolutely fine. We can just do it on row 5 or whatever. So I'm coming to the end of my row 3, and then I'll demonstrate that, and then I'm going to come off this camera for a while. So all the way to the end of row 3. So my tip is, if you're thinking this is a really hard stitch, I'm finding it so hard to go in, make it looser. It shouldn't be that hard. So if you're finding that it's a battle every stitch, either go up a hook size or make a concerted effort to pull your loops up looser on your hook so that your stitches themselves are looser.
A pointy hook.
Pointy hook.
Well.
These things are not great for this, are they?
No, those ones aren't.
Much as we love them. And I always say they're my favourite hooks. I don't think they're the best one. I think probably these aluminium ones, they're quite pointy at the top. I couldn't find an aluminium 5. Don't know why 5 seems to be a hook size that goes missing for me. I can never find a 5. It's really weird.
Mine are usually down the side of the sofa.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so many. Particularly tight one here, so I'm just loosening it with a smaller hook. Right, 2 more to go. Okay, so as you make your slip stitch for round 3, so don't worry if you're not there yet, you're going to pull through with your new colour. So whatever your second colour is that you've only got 1 off, I've got a white here, I thought these would be quite nice and festive. You're going to slip stitch in that new colour, and then that you're ready to work with that colour just for this round. So round 4 is slightly different because you're going to make a waistcoat stitch, and then you're going to do a chain 1 and skip 1. So waistcoat stitch in the round below, chain 1, skip a stitch, in the following stitch make another waistcoat. Chain 1, skip a
You can
stitch.
actually see your stitches so much better now. So
What, when you've got the different colour, or
no,
generally?
and also now you've done some.
Yeah, you can see it, can't you, building up where it should
Much
be.
better. Yeah, mine doesn't look anything like that. We're gonna start again.
Are you? So go up a hook size, Debbie. You might, just for, you know, just see how you find it. And maybe make a size smaller in gloves, but go up a hook size so that you can see your stitches better. Oh, hang on, I've forgotten to skip there while I'm chatting. So chain 1. So with this round, we are skipping a stitch. I did forget sometimes when I was making them, I had to undo it. Chain 1, skip 1, waistcoat in the next. I don't know why it's called, I suppose I do know why it's called a waistcoat stitch. It's just come to me because you've got the two, you know, fronts where you're going in between the front of it, they are splitting it like a waistcoat. Who knows, I might be right. And I've forgotten to skip again. So chain 1, skip 1. But just with your second colour on that round, you always skip 1. Wouldn't matter if you didn't, but that's how you get that nice sort of speckledy effect.
So Sam, sorry, it's Julie.
Julie.
When you're skipping one, you're kind of skipping the other half of the one you've done, so one strand, and then a double, and then you're going in half of the other. So you've got 4 posts going up in between. Is that right?
That is beautifully described. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Oh, good. Thank you. I thought I'd missed too many.
Just trying to put mine so you can see it better. Did someone else have a question? I thought I heard. No. Very concentrating session today. Once we've got this and you've got to repeat, you're off. That's all there is to it, really. Obviously I'll show you the cuff, but okay. Chain 1, skip 1. Now you've left, hopefully, I forgot to tell you to, but hopefully you haven't snipped off the main colour, because we'll pick that up in a minute, and you don't snip off the second colour either. Whoops. So you should find it gets easier as you go around. If it's not getting easier, you might need to go up a hook size. Everyone all right? No one else thinking of throwing it? Terry Ann?
Yes.
Claire, is that a nod because you're thinking of throwing it, or because she's thinking of throwing it?
Yeah.
Do you have tight hands?
I think I should have stayed on the side of the football pitch.
Okay, so
yeah, Terry Ann, where's the football? Because I'm coming with you.
Who's that?
Unfortunately, all the matches are finished, but we could just go and stand on a line somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
I'm with you on that one. I think I'll throw mine out the window already.
Oh, really?
Very angry.
Please go up a hook size if you're finding it harder.
I don't think it's that. I just don't know where I'm supposed to be putting it. I'm just jabbing it aimlessly.
It might help if I show you in this white stitch, because I've got the contrast of the red and the white here. So you've got your V. So when you put, if you look at it, when you go under the V, you've still got your post to the left of your work. Here's my post that I'm referring to, which looks like a V from the front. So I've gone, if I was making a standard double crochet, I'd be going underneath this top V here.
My gloves might be a standard double crochet.
Well, that's fine but when you look at it from the front, if I was doing that normally, I've still got, hopefully you can see the 2 strands I'm referring to in the white here.
Yeah, I can.
Right.
Yeah.
So where we actually want to go is there. So it's between the right hand and the left hand front V, but really it's just under that one strand, but you push it straight to the back. So if you make it loose, you can get underneath that left strand. That's all you want to do really, but push your hook to the back. So, I mean, just putting my hook under to show you, there's your 2 strands. there's the 2 strands we're talking about. You've got the one on the right and the one on the left. If you're right-handed, you just literally want to go under that left one. If you're left-handed, it'll be the opposite. But where I'm bringing my loop out to my hook out to the front now, push it to the back and work your stitch through there. So by making it bigger, which I really have tried hard to do with these white ones, it's much easier to see. And obviously you've got the contrast of colours here as well. And then you're going to go underneath this V here and slip stitch back in the original colour. Right, so for those that are finding it harder and on the earlier couple of rounds, ignore what I'm going to say next. For those that are ready, I'll show you how to. Chiffon, that looks brilliant. That looks really good. Is it purple?
Yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of it. Does that look?
That looks brilliant. I love it. Yeah, really good. It's got a little flash of you there holding it up. I thought, oh wow.
I think I need some more pointy hooks than this. I think I might chisel. If I had a pointier hook, it would be easier.
Definitely easier with a pointy hook, I agree. Yeah. Can I help anyone else? Oh, Jenny, look at that. Hang on. That's Lindsay I'm looking at. It's really confused me because it says Jennifer's iPad. Lovely.
I don't know if it's right or not.
It is right. Yeah. Really good. Yeah.
Kind of in it.
Yeah. It's upside down, but yeah. Lovely. Really good.
Beautiful colours that you sent me, which is the blue and the pink.
Oh, Helen, they look great. Hang on.
They do, don't they? This wall is really nice as well.
Drops Nepal, I love it. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. I've worked with it.
Natural fibre. It's nice.
Yeah, hold it up again. Let's see. I've just spotlighted you. Lovely. Oh, what lovely stitches. If you can't see Helen, have a quick look. I've spotlighted her because those stitches, if you go back a little bit, that's it. You can see what they should look like. Lovely. So
I'm surprised I've actually got this because I'm the one that struggles.
Very good. I do think it comes down to tension.
Yeah, I'm quite a loose. I normally have to go down a hook size or half a hook size.
Yeah, I do think that is the key thing. As I say, even myself, I really had to make a concerted effort to make it looser.
Yeah. I went to a crochet retreat a couple of weeks ago and we did mittens there, different pattern from Coastal Crochet. And you could tell I did the first one in the size that she recommended and it was just so big.
Oh really?
Even with cutting 3 rows out, it was still too big. So I literally only went down half a hook size. And the difference in the definition of the stitches.
Oh god.
And size, it was just really good to see the two together.
An interesting exercise, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always like it at our retreat days because you could get that comparison.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you see other people and how fast some people are and how slow, other people are. And where you sit in the middle.
Having that confidence to make that alteration yourself to your hook size and realizing the impact that makes.
Yeah.
And I talk about it quite a lot on here, but I hope Julie Ward won't mind me saying this, but we often compare things that, like Julie does have tight tension and her things will come up tiny, even going up a hook size. So, which is lovely because it makes them look beautiful, but it's hard work for you, Julie, sometimes, isn't it? So, and Helen, we were having that conversation on Friday. So yeah, it is interesting. So for this next round, don't worry if you're not here because there's a slightly different thing to do. You're going back to the main colour, leave the secondary colour there because you will pick it up. And you're going to do a waistcoat stitch in the first stitch, which is the one that's in your second colour. And then where you've got the chain 1 space, there's a spiked waistcoat stitch. Now, if that sounds like a step too far and you cannot face it, just do a double crochet in the space. If you can bear it, you're going down to the main colour in the round below and you're putting your waistcoat stitch in there. So for me, I'm skipping over the chain, which is in white, and I'm going down to the red waistcoat stitch below, and I'm just aiming for that left post. Now if it's
not on here, right?
mute, so we've got a little bit of background there. That's it. If it's so I've lost my pace there. What you're going to do is pull it through and make it, because it's a spike stitch, really tall. So pull up those loops, yarn over through those two. And the reason that is a nice thing to do is because it covers the white chain or the second color chain, and it makes it look like you've really got those speckles in there. However, if that seems like a step too far and you really are finding it tricky, just do a double crochet in the chain. So I am really conscious of finding it easier when I make it looser. So please. And the way to make it looser is to pull those loops up, so you've got your 2 loops on your hook. So as you come through, instead of now making yarn over through the 2, hook up, stretch out those 2 loops, then yarn over through the 2. Spiked one, that's going to need to be even looser. So I've pulled the yarn through, got my 2 loops on my hook, pull my hook up, lengthen out those loops. And you'll find if you do that for every stitch, it's really going to help with your tension and make it easier to find where to go.
The effect is so nice.
It is lovely, isn't it? I understand for those that are finding it frustrating, because I was conscious when I was designing it that it is sometimes tricky to know where to go. But yeah, it is such a lovely effect. Once you get past row, what's this, 5, once you get onto this row I'm on now, and you see the effect, it's kind of rewarding. It all feels a bit more worthwhile. I'm going to just switch back cameras for a little while, so I feel like you've looked at my hands for a long time. But do shout if you need me to demonstrate anything or have a question.
Is anyone watching Angela Black?
Yes, I'm only episode 1 I've seen. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, love it. Very intrigued.
It gets better. If you love it now, you're,
Really? Anyone else watching it or watched it?
How many episodes is it?
I want to say 6.
Okay.
What's it about?
Oh, an abusive husband, and it's really hard to describe. How would you describe it, Sam?
Well, I've only on the first one, but basically, obviously she knows she's in a relationship with an abusive husband, the wife, so it's sort of focused on the wife. Two kids. And she's tried to leave him in the past, but chickened out. I mean, he's not, she sort of makes the attempt to move, and then he apologized to leave.
Very wealthy family, isn't it? Yeah, he's very...
He always manipulates and uses the kids as the excuse, you shouldn't do this to the kids. Then she gets approached by a private investigator who's been employed by the husband, and it turns out all this stuff has been going on behind her back. So even more so than him being abusive, he isn't what he seems, and it's her having, as far as I can make out, it's her having the courage to kind of find out what's going on. And that's why.
But there's so many twists. You haven't even. I wish you'd watched more, because there's so many twists.
Yeah, we were talking about it yesterday at Friday Club, actually, and someone was saying the same. And my mum keeps saying to me, "You must watch it. You must watch it." And she's been watching it as it comes out on a Sunday.
Yeah, we've caught up now. Me and my daughter have caught up, so I can't wait for Sunday.
She's so frustrated because my mum, because she's like, I wish I'd binge watched it, because she wants to know what goes on next. So Shine, it's called Angela Black, and I think it's on ITV. There's been a few like that recently, because I've just finished Hollington Drive. So has anyone else seen that?
Oh yeah, what was that like? I was quite intrigued by that. I didn't watch it in the end, but is it good?
It was good. It had a surprise ending, which was good, but I didn't like it. But I didn't like it. The reason I didn't like it wasn't because it wasn't good. It was because it was unsettling.
Right.
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was worth watching. And then also the long call we were talking about yesterday. I've watched that.
I've not started that yet.
Very good. I really liked it. Although opinion was a little bit split yesterday at Friday Club, but Anita Dobson's in it and she is amazing. I was saying to everyone that I was sat watching it and my husband walked in and he went, "Oh, that's Martin Shaw," and I hadn't realised. And I said, "Well," and he was like quite impressed because I don't know who Martin Shaw is really, but he started reeling off all these things he'd been in. Yeah. And I said, "Yeah, apparently it's a star-studded cast, but I don't really recognise anyone." So then he sat there and he Googled it and he said, "Oh, Anita Dobson's in it." And I just went, by then I was nearly at the end. I went, "Of course, the person that she plays." But she's so kind of haggard in it that you can't tell. And then the minute you'll know now when you watch it from the beginning, because it's obviously her, which does a brilliant performance. Well, I thought so anyway. It's very good.
Anyone watching Show Trial as well?
No, but that was recommended yesterday. Anyone watched it?
That's all on iPlayer now, so if you want to binge it, you can watch it. You don't have to wait for it to come out.
What's the premise of that one, Helen?
A very privileged young lady gets accused of murder.
Oh, okay.
Basically, and it's just about that's it really. I don't know. I haven't seen it all yet. But
that sounds good.
She gets accused of murder.
I've been watching Outlaws on BBC One. It was supposed to be a kind of a comedy. I think they described it as a comedy thriller. It's really good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The characters are really well done. It's great. It's really good. But
that's got some stars in it, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's really funny and then poignant and then sad and then funny. It's great. Really good.
Okay. Yeah, I started a list yesterday because I obviously with my design work I do a lot of sitting in front of the TV madly. So I've gone through a couple of series last week, but I wrote down yesterday Friday Club, Show Trial, Dalgleish, and now I've added Outlaws to it.
Yeah. It's good.
Got Christopher Walken in it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Stephen Merchant.
Yeah.
The other one that people were saying about yesterday is Maid, which I haven't watched, but I'm just making out with that.
Why?
Maid?
Yes. Oh, Jenny, sorry, you got a hand up, Jenny. You're muted. I'm just going to spotlight you.
Yeah. Sorry, Sam. I've got no idea whether I'm doing it right or not, but I'm now on row 6.
That looks lovely. Well, you're doing stitches right. Yeah.
Well, I can't quite. It might just be my crocheting. So I've sort of got the hang of finding the V.
Yes, I can see. That's really good. Yeah.
But then sometimes in between the white, I know it's red there, but then I seem to be missing a stitch again. Is that right? Because then.
Sorry, go on. Show me again.
So, sort of, there's two close together there. Right. One goes through the white bit, and then I've got another one.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I haven't got. Like those two are really close together. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think so. If you just have you worked into that white one twice there where you're showing me, something isn't quite right.
Yeah.
I think maybe you've gone into that one twice.
Right. Okay. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah. When I've looked, I mean, having done the Y, it makes it a lot easier to see your V. That's definitely. Help.
When you've got a contrasting colour in there, it helps, doesn't it?
I've still got no idea if I've done it right, but
I can see that you're putting the stitches in the right place.
Okay, that's fine. I'll carry on.
Right,
Thank you.
Just got one too many there.
As long as it looks okay, it doesn't matter if you've done it right or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Is this right?
Where are you? Sorry, give me a sec to locate you on my screen. Terry-Ann, that wasn't it? Hang on. Spotlight. Let's have a look then. She does not look happy. Yes. Lovely. Perfect.
I don't know where to get the other bits now.
So she's not like Terry-Ann, everyone.
Really stressing me out.
So when you're going back to your red now.
Yep.
And you're going to do, you do one in the white stitch.
In the top of the white.
As you have done it working, waistcoat stitch into the white stitch. So not under the V, but again, underneath the post, in between the two posts. So.
Like that?
Yes, brilliant. And then for the next one, if you can bear it, you're working a long stitch down into the row below.
Okay.
So over the top of the chain, and you're making your waistcoat stitch into the red one, because you're doing red as well, aren't you? In the row below.
I think I've got that.
So make it long. So let the loop stretch out.
Yeah.
And then again into the white one. So you're alternating into the white one, into the row below, into the white one, into the row below.
Okay.
And that is as difficult as it gets, I promise.
Can't believe I'm having this much trouble with it.
No, it's fine. I did think when you gave me that scarf yesterday, I noticed yours is not that it's not a problem in any way, but it's narrower than mine, not significantly. But I thought your tension is tighter than we realise, I think.
Yeah, I've been a bit stressed lately.
Yes, you have. And you've been doing a lot of crochet because Terry Ann's been making a lot of samples for me. So right. And then you're onto your repeat. So then you do 2 rows of just waistcoat stitch. So basically you're repeating rows 4 to 7. So hopefully by then you're finding it a little bit easier. And if I just put mine, whilst I've got the camera on my work, if I just show you can see, hopefully see now where those V's are all lining up. So it really is the case that the more you do of it, the more you see that pattern and realise that it's okay. Which brings me to Debbie. Debbie, how are you getting on?
I'm struggling, so I'm in about as good mood as Terry Ann at the moment.
Not like me at all. I'm usually just...
Well, it's not like me. I normally just...
Yeah. It's about working out. It's about kind of that moment of, oh, now I get where it's going and it's not a battle.
I'm still battling. So.
Yeah.
See, I'm on a size 6, Sam.
Yeah.
And it still seems tight.
Okay, so what do you normally do with your tension, Debbie?
I normally go up one.
You normally go up one, okay.
Yeah.
And what stage of the glove are you on? Oh, it's looking good. I'm just thinking whether it's worth going up another half size. Well, you've got it. That is correct.
Okay.
So you're doing it correctly. That's all looking great. Yeah. So I guess the question is just whether you go up another hook size to make it a bit easier for you.
Got start again or just...
No, just continue on, because that bit needs to be a bit narrower anyway. When you come to make the cuff, you narrow it a bit by going down the hook size, but the cuff's easy, I promise. So, okay, looking at the time. So I will demonstrate, talking of that, the cuff and the thumb hole before we go. We've got plenty of time. Or if you don't want to go up half a hook size, just make that concerted effort. I think when you're very accomplished with your crochet, you tend to sort of work like this through the loops, literally as you pull them to the top of your stitch. But if you stretch them up that little bit more, it does loosen it. Going back to the TV conversation, because obviously we all like to watch our TV as we crochet. Terry Ann recommended The Chestnut Man to me, and I watched that really quickly in the week. That was really good. It's on Netflix.
Was that good? Because I keep looking at the previews of that. And is it scary? Because I don't do scary.
Haunting. But it's a good crochet watch because it's dubbed, and if you can ignore the bad dubbing, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it is good. It is good. It is a little... Jenny thought it was scary, didn't she, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I if you like a thriller, it's no more scary than your standard thriller. There might be a couple of jumps in it, but it's not gory. there's a few bits with dead bodies where you might want to just cover your eyes if you don't like gore, but the storyline is basically
it's no worse than that, is it?
no. And the storyline is such a good thriller, you know, it's so good, twisty crime. Yeah,
It's really clever.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Cyber Game?
No. What's
I can't believe you haven't watched that, Sam.
What's it called? The Cyber what? I'm adding it to my list.
I'm sure that's what it's called. It's number 1 on
Squid Game.
The what game?
Squid Game.
That's it, Squid Game.
Oh no, I know what you mean now, but I haven't watched it.
It's brutal, absolutely brutal.
Is it?
I watched the whole thing one Sunday while I was crocheting.
It is brutal, isn't it?
If they make another one, I wouldn't watch it, but I couldn't not watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the, you have to carry on.
Yeah.
And you do sit there and you are wondering why you're actually watching it when you are watching it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you have to keep going because you're invested in it now. So it's but it is brutal.
If you watch it, you'll understand.
Yeah.
Well,
you're actually part of it now.
I've seen a couple of, oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of interviews because I don't know if I talked about this last time we were on here, but I'd had my where were we? Oh, we were at my mum's. I wasn't round here, and all my nephews were there. I've got on my mum's side of the family, I've got 4 little nephews, and obviously my 4 children. They're all sort of around age 10, and they were out in the garden, and they were playing red light, green light or something. And I was like, oh, how lovely, look at them all playing a beautiful game out in the garden. And my sister-in-law said they're playing Squid Games. I was like, oh my God. And apparently it's a bit of a thing that is because the whole concept of Squid Game is that they play children's games but they get killed.
It's quite scary that the children are making it a game.
Exactly. And apparently their school, they're at Bridgewater School, actually Anna, who was on here earlier, she works there. They've had to send home a letter to parents saying this is not a suitable program for children to be watching.
They shouldn't be watching it. It is brutal.
No. And I've seen a couple of interviews, television interviews, like with review critics who've watched the show, have said the same thing. People think because it's about kids' games, it's okay for children to watch it.
And if
definitely not.
Anybody's got little children or grandchildren that play Roblox have put Squid Game on there, and it is not suitable. Do not let them play it.
Oh, okay. And mine play Roblox.
Yeah, well, they've put a Squid Game on it, and I've told mine they're not allowed. I said if they put it on their game, I'll just delete the whole account. So
yeah,
I quite agree.
Daniel seemed to be watching something there the other day on, I think it was YouTube, that was kind of not the Squid Game, but kind of the concept of it, but they weren't really being killed in that. So maybe some of the younger children have seen something like that, not the actual program, but someone else doing the whole concept of red and green, but I don't think they properly get killed. Not that I've seen the real Squid Game, so I don't know what it's like. Yeah, something I'll tell you, like, okay, and so maybe that's what the young ones have seen, something more like that.
Yeah.
And did you find it difficult because your kids are of varying ages? I always found it difficult. You can control what your child does in your own home, but when they go to friends' houses who've got older siblings, you find that they're allowed to do what the older sibling does. Yes. So your child is then able to watch 18 plus video games and stuff like that.
Yes, I've had exactly
that. It's very hard.
Yeah.
That happened to me when Chloe was 11. And she had just started, she's August, so she's the youngest in her year, and she had just gone to Cottesloe, and she went to someone's house and watched the In-Betweeners movie.
Oh, how old was she? 7? So, I mean, I had that with Jake going to, so he is my eldest, but actually going to a friend's house who had an older brother and playing Call of Duty. You know, I was like, you're.
I had watched the movie, Sam, and so I watched it to know what she had watched. I cried all the way through, knowing that my 11-year-old had watched it.
Hopefully, a lot of it was over her head.
I really hope so.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Sam?
Yes.
I've messaged you a couple of times on Messenger and I just get a message that says you're on holiday.
I know, it's so, I did reply to you this morning, Ruth. It's so
lovely.
annoying. If anyone's got any tips, I've turned it off on my computer. When I went away in the summer, I put on Facebook this automatic message on my business page saying I'm away. And on the computer, it's switched off. And on my phone, I've tried to switch it off, but it just keeps switching itself back on. I need to do a bit of work on working out what I've done wrong with that.
I wasn't harassing you. I just
No.
thought, I wonder
Sam, if you log out, Sam, if you log out of your account, and change the password, then it will automatically log you out on any of the other devices you're on. Then log back in on one single device and change it and save it, and then it will automatically be fine. I did that, and when I rang up to the helpline, they said it's because I was still logged in on my old phone. It hadn't then it hadn't sort of connected everywhere, if that makes sense to me. But that's what I did, and it seemed to work.
Thank you, Rosa. That's brilliant.
Thank you, Sam. The answer, I've just seen your message. That's great. Yes, please.
I'll put you together a kit and bring it to the retreat day. Brilliant. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just looking ahead into the pattern.
Literally, I'm so excited, Sam.
Well, to come to the retreat
2
day.
weeks' time, we'll be at the retreat. We'll actually meet you in person.
That would be so amazing.
So exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited to meet you both. That would be lovely. And have you got a hotel booked?
Yes, we have got a hotel booked. I think Rosa's booked the Holiday Inn.
Okay, in Tring. Was it in Tring, Rosa?
I don't know. I booked something so long ago. I've forgotten actually what I booked, but I will check.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I'm so glad. It'd be lovely to meet you. I've seen so much of you over lockdown and everything on Zoom, but it'd be lovely to meet you in person. And also, you'll get to meet a lot of the other ladies that are here today in person. So that would be lovely. Faye, Leanne, just looking at who's coming. Julie, Terry Ann. Who else is coming? Kelly's waving. Debbie's coming, aren't you, Debbie? Yeah, so that'd be lovely. Right, I'm going to show you the
I'm sorry, ladies, I'd lost the plot and lost a week. I put only 10 more days to go, but I'd lost a week.
I did think that.
Too excited.
To be quite honest, you frightened me. I was like, oh my God,
sorry, Sam.
Put together 10 days.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, you know me. Right, I'm going to go through how to do the thumb hole, and I'm just having a moment thinking, did I do? Okay. So what I've done, just going ahead in this, I'm going to show you the thumb hole, and I'm just going to get you to make an edit in the pattern because I've realised what I've done. So what you do now, I'll switch back cameras, is you're going to add your thumb hole, which is really easy. Originally, I put adding the thumb hole onto this round here where you're working over the, have I done that? Yeah, over the white or the second colour. So what you're repeating this, so let's go on to the pattern. So the white round for me is round 4. So you repeat round 4 to 7. So you do a second colour round where you chain 1, do your stitch, chain 1, skip 1, do your stitch. Then you do 3 rounds in your main colour, and then you do another secondary colour round. So that is your repeat, starting with the secondary colour, 3 rounds in the main colour, secondary colour, 3 rounds in the main colour. So you do that twice more. So I've just done 1 at the moment. And then you do another round. So you'll have 4 stripes of your secondary colour, which you'll be able to see from the photo on the front. And then you put your thumb hole in. So you do, well, the point where you put your thumb hole in, it's, you'll know because you'll get there in the pattern, it's round 18. But what you'll have done is you'll have done your one of these, one in the secondary colour and 1 row in the main colour. And then all you do, and what I've done is I've done glove 1, glove 2. So the way the 2 gloves differ is just on round 18. You'll start your round. So you'll do slip stitch, sorry, chain 1. Now, because I changed the place I put it, this is where you're going to need to do an edit. Sorry about this. So for round 18, originally, as I say, I did it straight after the white round, but then I found the thumb hole had a white bit in it I didn't like. So for round 18, if you've got a pen or pencil handy, just grab it, because all it needs, where it says 1 spiked WDC, you're not doing that. You're just doing your waistcoat doubles. So you're going to do 1 waistcoat double crochet in each of, so cross out, make 1 spice. So let me just show you on here. Let me just show you on here. If anyone's watching this back on recording, I'll put what I'll do is I'll put the edited PDF on as well, actually, when I do it for you. You don't need that bit. So you need to do 1 WDC in each of the next 6 stitches. And whilst I'm here, so just ignore the repeat, so cross out all of that, make 1 WDC in each of the next 6 stitches. So you've got 6 waistcoat stitches, chain 4, this makes it all much easier actually, skip 4 stitches and make 1 WDC in every stitch around. What I'll do is I'll edit this, and when I put up the video, I'll also put the new PDF up. So you probably won't have got there before I've done that anyway. But if you have, you're basically making 6 stitches, chain 4, skip 4 stitches, and then continue all the way around in your normal stitches. So it's actually much easier than what's written there. But I will edit it and I'll put it in your My Adventure, and you'll all have access to that by lunchtime. So when I come off here, I'll sit and do that, and I'll put this video on as well. So let me show you what that means. So you're going to do 6 waistcoat stitches, 1, as you have been as normal, 2, obviously I'm just pretending I'm there, I'm not quite at the right place, but just to demonstrate it, 3, 4, just thinking, am I spotlighted because I haven't got, yes, 5, 6, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, continue with your waistcoat double crochets. So the thumb hole is literally a chain space, chain 4, skip 4, continue all around. And then when you get to the next round, again, you're working around in your main colour, doing your waistcoat stitches and everyone around. This will read normally as fine. 4 double crochets in here, and that makes your hole for your thumb. Which Lindsay, confused me by being on Jenny's iPad, had already done. Yeah. Mine's not in the right place, hence it not looking quite right, but you can see you can get your thumb through it. So whilst I'm here demonstrating, the other thing to demonstrate is this cuff. So for the cuff, I went down, a hook size. Get rid of that for then. Okay. So I went down to a 4. It makes it all a little bit tighter because obviously with your hand, you've got, your wrist comes in. So find your 4. Have I got my 4 to hand? Got 3.5, that'll do. Rejoin. You may as well rejoin where the seam is, which is where your tails are. And you're going to work in these chain spaces below where you've got your stitches. So you've got these holes below your stitches. And again, once you set the pattern up, you've got the hang of it. And you're going to just rejoin your secondary colour. But it's up to you. You've got plenty of yarn if you want to do it in the main colour in there. Don't worry about any gaps that arise. You know what? I'm going to go one higher than that. I'm going to go along a bit and worry about that in a minute. Chain 3, which is pretending to be a treble, and make 1 treble in every one of those gaps all the way around. So this is going to be on video for you to watch back. So I'll go all the way around, then I'll show you the next round. But some of you have probably done it before, because it's basically going around in front post, back post to make your ribbing. You're doing it at a smaller hook size, that's going to pull it in a bit. And then you can do as many rounds as you like. You've got plenty of yarn. I almost just sent you 1 ball of the main colour, and I thought, no, I'm going to send 2 just in case, but I didn't use more than 1 ball. So if you want to make it taller, higher up your hands, longer cuff, you've got the ball to be able to do that. Oops, split that a bit. So you're going underneath where you've already put stitches. I'll switch cameras for a moment and I'll come back to that and show you the front post, back post in a minute. Oh, Jennifer, Lynn, yeah, it keeps confusing me. Lindsay, that looks great. Really good. It's Jenny. I take it Jenny's with you.
Jenny's here, but she's doing there we go.
Is she doing something for a wedding?
I'm here, but I'm doing my own pattern, so I'm hiding in the background.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Everyone all right? Anyone?
Sam?
Yeah.
I have to go now.
Oh, do you have to go?
This is.
Oh, that's looking brilliant. You've got the hang of it now, Debbie. Brilliant.
I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to carry on with it, but I did get it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Sam, Jenny Freeborn's got her hand up. I don't know if she needs help, but there's a little hand in the corner of her picture.
Oh, you're all right, Jenny.
I think she say no.
Thank you, Julie.
I can just see that on my screen.
So you're all right, Jenny. Oh, it's gone. She's moved.
Okay, bye everyone. Right, nice I'll see most of you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you at the retreat, Debbie. Yeah, well done for mastering it, even if you don't finish them.
I know. Thank you, Sam, very much.
Bye. See you
soon.
Okay, so I've gone all the way around. I've slip stitched a third of my 3 chain. For the next round for the cuff, you chain 3, and then you're going to do front post, back post, so trebles, yarn over, underneath the post. So again, we're looking at posts. This time they're taller because they're trebles. From right to left if you're left-handed at the front, and left to right if you're, sorry, if you're right-handed, right to left to right if you're left-handed. Underneath, pull the yarn through, gives you 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So that's my front post treble. For the back post, yarn over again and come around the post, but from the back. So then when you put your hook back out the other side, it's at the back of the work. Pull the yarn back under the post. Again, your hook is at the back of the work. Yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So you alternate front post, back post trebles, and it gives you that ribbing. You really need to do a few rows to see the effect of it. But it's a nice, easy one once you get going. And you can see it gives a ribbing effect. And when you come to do your next round, the rule is you put a front post round a front post and a back post round a back post. And that will continue on the ribbing effect. So you can do as many rounds as you like for that. And it's really, I think putting the cuff on just makes it look like a glove, whereas before that is a tube in a nice pattern. But putting the cuff on is really effective. So you can see continuing on the effect it gives. So going back to this thumb hole, I've put an optional edging on for the thumb hole. Whoops. And basically, for the top of it and the thumb hole, I just double crocheted around it all. So for the thumb hole, I looked at it from the front. I rejoined my cream in this stitch here, which is like the middle of the hole. It's like the short side if you think of it as a rectangle. And I did a double crochet in there, 1 double crochet in each of the next 4, a double crochet on the other short side, coming into it here, just underneath that stitch, and then 4 double crochets along here, and that made a little tube. And I then did 2 more rounds of that. You can do as many as you like. So you get your little thumb hole, and then there's 2 rounds of just straight plain double crochet around the top. Again, you can do as many as you like. So those are all the techniques. Hopefully.
Can we see the cuff on your finished one, Sam?
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Hopefully, I hope you'll finish them. Well done for, for those that have found it tricky, well done for keeping going, because sometimes when you persevere, it does. Oh, look, Julie's on her second one. Yay. Oh, that's brilliant. Where have you gone, Julie? Have you moved on my screen then? Hang on, I can see Anne. Anne, that looks lovely. Let's just spotlight a few people to give everyone else some inspiration. There's Anne. That looks brilliant. Really good. Well done. Really good. Lovely colour.
I did find it tricky at first, but once I'd gone up a size, I've got the hang of it.
Brilliant. Oh, good. That's really good. And where did Julie go when she showed us hers? I think she might have just gone. We have gone over. Sorry, I'm aware of that. Oh, Jenny, that looks lovely. Hang on. Lovely.
Going up a hook size definitely helped.
Brilliant. Yeah, lovely. I love that. Looks really good. I'm glad. So that is the trick then, isn't it? Oh, just back, Julie. Going up the hook size makes all the difference. Thank you. That's lovely. Move the spotlight for you. That's it. And Julie, you've come back. Chiffon, that looks great. Oh, Valerie, that looks lovely. See, oh yeah, and you gave the let's just show Valerie, because she's had a go at the cuff as well. Lovely. It's very effective. I think if you can bear it, it is lovely once you get going. And Helen, that's looking lovely. Lovely. Good colours. I know I sent you the colours, but still it's nice seeing them. Sian, that looks great. Really good. Right. Lovely. Thank you, everyone. I'm sorry to have gone over slightly with time. Angela, I'm really pleased that it's really good. So your next one, Anne has put, thanks everyone, wonder what my next challenge will be. Well, I will do an easy one for next month. And of course, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. It will be festive. Sorry, didn't mean to show you. That's it, I'm back. So, oh, Julie, that does look good. Julie Every, hang on.
And I think I've done it.
Oh, have you got the hang of it, Terry Ann?
Yep.
Yeah, you have. Let's just remove Sian. She's still there. So it's again, Julie. Brilliant, really good. And Terry Ann, seeing as we've hang on, seen. There we go. Lovely. Oh yeah, definitely. Really good. Yay. Are you going to finish them, Terry Ann?
Yep.
Good. She's on a mission now.
Paul's showered the boys.
Yeah.
He's gone to play his grown-ups football, and I'm going to stay here and make them.
Brilliant.
I need to defrost. I'm so cold.
Are you? That doesn't help either, does it, with tension? No. Well, would you mind everyone just holding up your gloves, and I'll do my normal screenshot and then I will let you go. Thank you very much. Hang on, I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Looking good. Don't worry if you haven't got anything to show. Looking good. Thanks everyone, they look brilliant. And thank you for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed it. I promise I'll do something easy for next month, a nice Christmassy thing. 2nd of December, I think it is. It's on the website, but you're all subscribers, I think. So yeah, I'll see you anyway automatically. But I'll see lots of you at the Christmas retreat, and I'll put lots of photos on for those that can't make it, so you can see how we get on and what we make. Yeah. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks everyone. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Sam,
bye.
Before you go,
Bye. Yeah, bye.
So can you do, because I can't get to the treat unfortunately, can you do a pack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, how can you send me details of how you do that?
I will. Yeah, absolutely. It might take me it might be sort of middle of next week by the time.
Oh, that's fine.
Because I'm
no problem at all.
Together next week, so I'll work
Brilliant.
out everything.
Thanks a lot.
And if
Excellent.
anyone else wants that, just let me know. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
have a lovely weekend, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, and you.
Bye.